consideration is something that you really can't over-consider. And I'm just about to be done here, but I want to wrap up with a passage from 1 Samuel. You know what? Just go ahead and turn there. Go ahead and turn to 1 Samuel chapter 18, starting in verse 3. We're going to start in verse 3. And here it says in Jonathan, this is why we always leave a note, right? You know, as I say this, and this is where I'll close with this thought. I want to close with this thought. It's from Philippians. Philippians chapter 2. You know what? Why don't we turn there? Why don't we turn there together? Philippians chapter 2, starting in verse 3. It says here, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Interest is something that's accrued over time, but I think in relationships over time, we accrue interest in a person. So this is where I'm going to close with one kind of final nugget here. And I did think about maybe kind of sharing like a personal story, something along that vein at the close, but ultimately I think God's word says it best. So in Matthew 22, if you want to turn there, Matthew 22, it's a passage that really sums up everything we talked about today. If you just want to turn to Matthew 22 here as we close, you can turn to, it's funny, it's one of those, if you were to get like a tattoo, it's like a life verse type of passage, Matthew 22. If you want to turn there, you can turn there here as we close, Matthew 22. Okay, yeah. In verse 37, no, let's start in 36. Matthew 22, 36. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment? Consideration. Hey, I'm going to pray here as we close. Would you bow your head and your hearts with me? God, we thank you for being you. We thank you for this morning. God, I'm reminded of your word as we come to you in prayer, but we turn there in our hearts to Exodus 20, verse 1 through 20. Hey guys, we're just about to be done with this video, but as we close, why don't you go ahead and push the subscribe button over here. Just go ahead and subscribe. We're just about to be done. We're right here at the end. This is where we're going to close with this thought, but just go ahead and subscribe. There's a subscribe. You can just subscribe. Why don't you subscribe here right as we finish?